We are at part 6 of Cozy Pilates. Pilates moves that you can do in the comfort of your own home, even in your PJs. Today we're going to finish our second part of moves that you can do in your living room. Let's get started. For this first move, we're going to do some bridging prep. So we're going to grab our blanket if you want some extra support and some cushion. You can also use a workout mat. And we are going to lay down on our backs with our knees bent and our feet on the ground. Make sure you get nice and cozy. We're going to start first with some pelvic tilts. So you're going to tilt your pelvis towards your head so that your back flattens onto the floor. We're going to do this 10 times. Now, each time we do this, I really want you to focus on your breath. So as I tilt my pelvis towards my head, I like to exhale. And then as I release, I like to inhale. So you exhale as you come up, inhale as you get back into your starting position. So keep making sure that you're adding that breath. We're warming up that back to prepare for our bridging series. Just a couple more here, and then we are going to go right into doing a full bridge. So this next one, we're going to do that pelvic tilt, and then we're going to lift up and then back down to the floor. So again, we're going to do this move for 10 moves. And so it's the same motion. You do the pelvic tilt, and then you have a flat back as you lift up into that bridge. So as you're lifting into the bridge, I really want you to focus on squeezing those booty muscles. We don't want to be using our hamstrings too much. If you feel that you are getting cramps in your hamstrings, then you're not giving yourself enough articulation and tilting your hip enough. And that means that you're using more of your glutes than you are your booty. Now, bridging is a gluteus maximus move, so you really want to make sure that we're focusing on the correct place that we want this move to really be working in order to get the most effect out of it. So we're going to finish up here with just a handful more. Okay, so on this next one, we are going to lift up into our bridge, and we're going to hold this for a 10 count. So it may feel a little intense, but you can do this. You can do anything for 10 seconds. Make sure you are still focusing on breathing, and we're going to release it down. And now we're going to do a little bit of a spinal twist just to give some relief into our back. Take your knees one direction, your head the opposite way. This should feel really, really nice. And now we are going to stand ourselves up, and we are going to go into some quadruped moves. So if you have a little blanket or a pillow, if you want those under your knees for a little extra support and cushion, go ahead and do that. I like to do it, as being on all fours is not always fun. You want to have your hands around right under your shoulder blades, and we're going to go into some cat-cow moves. So you're going to flex up your upper back and then release it down. And this is going to feel really nice on our spines. Again, making sure that we're adding in that breath work. So you really want to articulate that spine up and then release it, almost as if you're about to, like kind of wag your tail if we had tails. All right, so now we're into our quadruped move. We're going to take one leg out straight and then down. This is the beginner prep move. Now, if this feels good for you, you continue doing that. We're going to do 10 sets of this. Now, if you want to challenge yourself just a little bit, you can take the opposite arm and opposite leg out, one at a time. This is going to help you focus on balance. Now, you want to kind of imagine that you have maybe a little cup of tea or a glass right there on your lower back. So you want to try to not rock your hips too much, as if that would not fall if it were sitting on your back. Now, I am not perfect at this. I have a little bit of an extra booty, so, that maybe won't work for me, but imagining that it's there is going to help me try to keep my hips as square as possible. So keep going at your own pace. If you need to take a break at any point, you go ahead and do that. And again, if doing the opposite arm and opposite leg is a little too much for you, you can just do the leg motion. Do what works for your body today. Now we're going to finish up, one on this side and one on the other, and then we're going to go into a little child's pose position just to release that lower back. Try to lean back into your heels as whatever feels comfortable for you. Take a couple nice deep breaths. This should feel nice. And then we're going to come up, and now we are going to sit down onto our booties and do a little bit more stretching. We're going to go into a butterfly stretch here. Come down as far that feels nice for you until I'm getting a little hot here. And we're just going to sit here taking a couple nice deep breaths. With every deep breath, maybe try to just push a little bit deeper into that stretch, doing nice inhales and exhales. And we are at the almost end of our workout. We're doing a nice cool down here. And then we are going to go ahead at this last breath. We're going to actually come down onto our stomachs, and we are going to do a move called Swan Prep. This is in preparation for the swan dive, but again, we want these to be fun and accessible, so we're just going to do the prep move. So what I want you to do is get on your stomachs. We're going to put our hands right under our shoulders, have our feet a little bit wider than our hips, and then we're going to lift our chest up as far as feels comfortable. Now just start first with a little bit of move, pressing that chest, pushing our hands into the mat, and you can take your head following towards the ceiling. Now each time we do this, we're exhaling as we come up, inhaling as we come down, each time trying to come up just a little bit more. Now if it feels good for you, you can come up to where your arms are totally straight, but that's really going to depend on how flexible you are, how flexible your spine is, and where you're at right now. So again, do what feels good for you. We're doing these for about 10 times. So just take your time, go at your own pace, making sure you're exhaling as you come up, inhaling as you come down. Now this is our last one, and we are going to finish that one out. Make it your best, and then we are going to go ahead and we are going to stand ourselves up, and we are going to sit down on the couch for a little bit more deeper stretching. So we're going to go into that figure 4, and if you want a little deeper stretch, you can press into that knee that is bent. Take some nice deep breaths. Really feel that stretch. This should feel nice with all the hip work that we did today. And then we're going to go ahead and switch our legs, making sure that we are nice and even. We don't want you guys wobbling around. So take some deep breaths. Finishing that one up there. Taking our foot down. And then we're going to do a couple shoulder rolls forward and back. Going nice and slow. And there you go. You've done it. Thanks so much for joining me today. I will see you guys next week.